That's funny. Hi everybody, it's Rebecca with Jams by Rebecca. I thought I would film my very first Get Ready With Me tonight, putting on some Jamberry nail wraps. Just to kind of show you how I do it. It's been about, I don't know, a week or so since I guess it was a little bit longer than a week. I had a set on and I took it off because my nails grow really quickly and I don't like the way it looks when it starts showing the, you know, like what you would have to get filled if you had acrylic nails. So after a lot of exploration, I decided on these two. You can see I already used some of this in another manicure. This is Haute Pink. And this one is Magenta. See, Silver Floral on Magenta. So I thought I'd use this as the accent and this as my main manicure. So I've already prepped my nails, and that's important to do. It's probably the most basic and most important step of putting on Jamberry nail wraps is the prep work. You have to push back your cuticles, really scrub those nails clean. I buffed them a little bit with this little buffing block, and really made sure I went around and trimmed up some of my cuticles with a nipper like this. I just find that that's easier. And then I cleaned them all off with an alcohol prep wrap like this. It's just a regular drugstore brand. You can get them in a box. They're pretty inexpensive. There are also some available on the Jamberry website, and I'll put my link below. So they're in the application kit. So this is what we will need in order to do this application. You're going to need your nail wraps, of course. You're going to need a pair of scissors. It does not have to be little manicure scissors, but they're pretty handy, so that's what I use. You need a cuticle pusher. This also comes in the application kit, and it's wonderful. It's like a little rubber tip, pretty rough rubber tip. I also use a spoon pusher, and I'll show you what I do with that in a little while. You need also a emery board or a nail file with a light to medium grit. You don't want it too hard because you don't want to really rip the nail wraps up. And you need some kind of heat source. So blow dryer or something similar, or we have this really nifty little mini heater here. I don't know if I can get this all in the frame, but it's our little mini heater. There you go. So you can see it has the heat source here, and it has a little stand that you put it on. It's quite handy because it actually allows you to use both hands when you're applying the nail wraps, which is very, very, very useful. So I think we can just go ahead and get started. Like I said, I've already done all my prep, and it's important if you put these on for you to do yours too, because it does affect how long the wraps stay on and how well they stay on while they are on. So in case you don't know, these are the Jamberry nail wraps, and as you can see, I have used some of both of these sheets, but they come in a sheet like this. There are enough wraps here to do 2 manicures, and these 2 big wraps are for pedicures. So you get 2 manicures, 2 pedicures for $15. So that's pretty good, because last time I checked, a mani-pedi at a nicer salon was $57 for both. So for less than the price of 3 of these sheets, well, actually for 3 of these sheets is less than the price of a 1 mani-pedi at a salon. And you can do them at home, and that's what's so great about this. So I'm gonna get started. The first thing you do when you get a sheet like this is they're on clear plastic. So you're going to take them and you're going to try to figure out which wrap best fits your nail. You don't want it touching skin anywhere because it will not stick. And you just go and kind of curve it around your nail and to see, and you can see, I don't know if you can see, but that one's way too big. I happen to know this little one fits my pinky, this smaller one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that that cut. So the first thing you do is you're going to pull up the nail wrap. And I do that by kind of folding the sheet over so that I can kind of get an edge better. You can use tweezers for this. I just, they're upstairs and I'm down, and I just didn't feel like going to get them. So I kind of pull it up and I hold it with the cuticle pusher. You don't want to touch the back of it where the adhesive is, because adhesive will not stick to skin and you don't want to transfer oils. So I cut it roughly a little longer. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's a little longer than my nail, and that's what you want. So I'm going to grab this little tip up here after I just told you not to touch them, but this gets cut off anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. It's just so that I can kind of transfer, and same with this other corner. It's just so I can transfer it to the cuticle pusher a little easier. And this is probably where the tweezers would be more useful, because you can grab it anywhere. So then you take your handy dandy little heater, you're going to turn it on, and you're going to kind of wait for it to heat up. Now I used to do this cold. It's what is called the reverse method. I would put it on cold and then heat it up, and I mean, they were lasting, and I was happy with them, but as I've gotten more proficient putting them on, and there was a little bit of a learning curve. Just think back to the first time that you put on nail polish, you know, it didn't exactly look like you stepped out of a salon. Anyway, so I hold it in front of here until it starts to curl. You can see that, how it's curling like that. And then I have to get kind of close, and I put it on my nail as close to my cuticle as I can get it without touching my cuticle. And then I just rock it from side to side. And I kind of give it a little tug at the ends. It just sort of helps it. So then I heat it up again. And I have to say this heater gets quite hot. And then you take your cuticle pusher and you really press down, and I go down the sides, kind of down the middle, get it off my skin there. It won't really affect it, but it's just uncomfortable. And I just push it down real good. And I push it back because I don't want it moving. And just seal it around the edges as best you can with the cuticle pusher. That's why this thing is so amazingly awesome. I don't know if you guys can see very well. Then what I do is I heat it up a third time, just because I really want that good seal. Make sure that's in the picture. All right. And when you're satisfied with the seal, you know it's on there really well. You can see where I missed a little bit of a hangnail there. This time of year is heck on my nails, because I'm doing a lot of gardening and washing my hands and, you know, taking care of animals. Then what I do is I take the nail clippers, and you see, I'm going to turn this off and move it. If you can see that little edge there, and I just kind of trim it a little closer. I don't trim it all the way down, because you're going to actually file off the rest of it. Or you can use clippers and cut them off. I usually just file. So there it is on my nail. Now, if you will notice, it's not all the way on that one side. I would rather have had it centered, but I didn't get it centered. But the point is, from the top, you can't really tell. Nobody's going to look at your nails that closely. So what you have to do now is you have to let this cool completely. If you try to file the wrap off while it's warm, you stretch it, and it's going to get a real raggedy edge, and later on in the week it's going to catch on everything, and you're just not going to be happy with the way it looks or feels, and it tends to catch on things and lift the tip. So that is probably one of the number one reasons, besides in prep or nail prep, that your tips come up, is that you filed the wrap while it's warm. So you have to let it cool. And what I do is I usually just go on and I do my other fingers, and then I come back to the first one. Or you can take like a cold pack from the freezer and put it on there and really cool it down fast if you're in a hurry. So I will go on, and I think I'm going to do an accent nail on my ring finger. So I know that this third wrap is my ring finger. And basically your process is going to be the same. You're going to pull the wrap up. Let's see, get in here this way. You're going to cut it in half, or, you know, a little bit longer than your nail. What I do is I don't tend to cut them in half because I use these centers. I don't know if you can see that little piece right there. I use those centers for my toes. You can just trim them down to piggy size. Can you guys see what I'm doing here? Okay. And then there. Now, when you are putting them on your right hand like this, if you pick it up by the, I should move it this way so you can see it. If you pick it up by the right hand corner, you'll have an easier time laying it on your nail. And vice versa for your left hand, you would pick it up by the left hand corner. Just makes it a little easier. So again, let me get this in the picture so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna hold it there so it gets soft and kind of pliable, and you can see it happening pretty quickly. You don't want to heat them up too much because it isn't good for the wrap either. It will affect the wear if they're too hot. And then what I do is just roll my finger back and forth and get it down, and I kind of tug it side to side. And get it hot again. And really put a lot of pressure around the edges, down the middle. Now this is a foil wrap in it, and sometimes they're a little bit harder to get smooth. I'm going to show you what I use a spoon pusher for. That takes care of that. Right, so then I'm going to take the scissors again. I'm going to cut off most of the excess. And I put them over here in a pile. And I'm going to heat it up the third time just to really get that seal that I'm looking for. Heat and pressure, that's the key to this application method, and I think you'll be happy with the results. All right, and again, you got to let that cool. But while that's happening, while it's still hot, I'm going to show you what I do with the spoon pusher. I take this and put it right against the heater, and I heat this up. I know you guys can't really quite see what I'm doing, but I'm holding it right against the heater. And I heat this up for a good 20-30 seconds. Both sides, just to get it good and hot. You don't want it so hot that it's going to burn you. You know, you're not trying to brand yourself. But you're trying to get it hot enough that what you're going to do is take this and you're going to push it all down the wrap. And really, what this does is it really smooths it out and seals it to the whole nail. And you get a really nice, long-lasting application with it. And no bubbles. Sometimes people have trouble with bubbles on the side, and this takes care of it. Especially if you have curved nails, because you're trying to put a flat wrap on a curved surface. So this sort of, what it does is sort of shrink wrap it to your nail. Form fits it, for want of a better word. I have the air conditioner off right now because it's a window air conditioner and it makes a lot of noise and it's right behind me. So I thought maybe it would be too noisy, and it's hot here. I'm right outside of Philadelphia, and it's pretty swampy at the moment. So whew, I'm trying to do this rather quickly. Like I said, you're just kind of really smoothing this down with this spoon pusher and getting along the edges and just, you know, just like you were ironing it. Right. Try to stretch it a bit. Again, didn't get it really centered, and you can sort of stretch the wrap a little bit. You don't want to do that too much because then sometimes what happens is it cools and it shrinks back, and then you end up with bubbles. But you don't really want to do that too much, but a little bit like that's not going to hurt it any. And just really press that on there. Okay, so I'm going to continue with, that's too big. Way too big. This one. Oh, the heater gets, sorry guys, I hit the camera. The tripod actually. The heater gets hot. Which is what you want, of course, but it's rather uncomfortable blowing on you in the middle of July. Alright. Alright. Alrighty. Again, I'm going to heat this up about 3 to 5 seconds, just till it starts to soften. One of the advantages of the cold method is that you have a chance to kind of adjust your wrap. So if you're new to Jamberry and you're having a little trouble with this method, you know, because you put it down, you don't have a lot of wiggle room. Go ahead and use the other method with the cold application, just till you get a hang of it, and then switch over to this one, because I really do find that this one, you know, it's sort of the official Jamberry application, and I do find that the wraps last longer, look better for a longer period of time. The spoon pusher part is optional. This part with the heating up and the placing them down and sealing them with your finger, that's all part of the official Jamberry application. This doesn't quite match that magenta, but it'll be close enough. And trim it. Again, the reason you trim it just makes it easier as you're going to go to file. It makes it easier to file. And then I'm heat it up again. And just iron that down. I was going to do, there's a clear white stripe, I was going to do that over this, and I put it on over it, just to, held it on there, you know, just to look at it, and it just looked like peppermint candy, or I don't know, like candy striper, that's what it looked like. And I mean, it was cute, but it was, I don't know, it seemed more springy than middle of July sweltering tropical rainforest Philadelphia. All right. I'm from Texas and El Paso, actually. And a couple years ago, my daughter and I went on vacation in San Antonio. And the whole time we were there, they kept complaining about how humid it was there. And oh my God, it's terrible. You guys came at a bad time. And I had to laugh because it was, I guess it was August. And if you've lived in Philadelphia, August is brutal around here. It's just hot and sticky and it's not fun. Especially when you're from the Southwest and you're not used to the humidity. Well, it's something you ever really get used to. Maybe even people that live here. I don't know. I've been here for a very long time. Moved here in 1976. So, kind of tells you. Coming up on 40 years. Never, in my wildest dreams, thought I'd be here that long. I like it. I mean, my family's all here. Well, my immediate family. Children, grandchildren. And significant other in the area. So, see that? Can you see that? Cat hair. Darn them. How am I going to get that off? Let me see if I can get it from the tip, because that's coming off anyway. Ugh, buggers. Oh. Well, this isn't something I planned. Could just use another wrap. Ah, I think I got it. Almost got it there. There. We have a black and white cat. He always seems to know exactly which thing was going to show up, which color hair the best. Okay, got that off. So, same process. Heat it up. Put it down. Oh, that was not straight at all. Okay, looks better. Erg. Basically, this is the same process over and over again for all 10 nails. So what I'm probably going to do is either, I don't know, fast forward or come back and bring you in when I'm ready to file the nails, just so it's not so long and boring. Who am I kidding? I'm really hot and I need to turn the air conditioner back on. Anyway, I hope that this gives you an idea of like how easy this is. And yeah, I know it may seem like, well, just as much trouble as painting your nails. I guarantee you it's not. When you're doing this and you're not talking and doing a video, it's much, much faster. And you're not explaining to somebody, you know, what you're doing. I can get my nails done, all 10 nails done in about 15 minutes. And I like nail polish. I really do. I'm not going to knock it. It's beautiful. Love it. But the advantage of these, you get them done, finish them off, and you're out the door. There's no chipping, no dry time. You're basically ready to go. You can stop in the middle of this, go fix dinner. You know, you're not gonna do anything. You can come back to it, you know, the whole bit. I don't know if I want, do I want an accent nail on my thumb too, or just there? I don't know, I think just there. All right. Well, oh, I did want to show you this though, because this is kind of a cool little trick. So I use this one for my thumb. Oh, gotta turn this off for a minute. Use that for my thumb. What I do with the thumb is, I don't know if you can tell, but you look at your own thumbs and you'll see that the bottom of your nail bed is more square than rounded like your other nails. It has more of a square. So this is kind of a neat trick. I'm going to use this one. This is my thumb. So I'll show you what I do. Right. So pick it up, turn around so I can kind of see it, because, you know, getting older. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to take the nail scissors and I'm going to trim the tiniest bit. You see how, go ahead and focus camera. Maybe if I got it in the middle. See how the end is more square now? That'll fit your nail better. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get this heated up again. And then, I'm sorry, I probably have to do this off camera because, oops, I gotta get my thumb flat. It really helps when you're putting these on if you put your hand flat as you put them on each nail. I want to show you this right here. This is why a lot of people get wrinkles in the front, because they cut the nail wrap a little too long. They cut it in half instead of just a little bit past their nail. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's a couple little wrinkles right there, and that's how that happens. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this, and I'm going to do that by trimming it and then smoothing it out. I'll bring you back when I'm ready to file my nails. Okay, y'all, I am all done with the application. I'm ready to file. This hand is cool. This one is not, so I'm going to do this one and show you how it's done, and then probably bring you back when it's all finished. So you've got your file, you've got your wrap, and what you're going to do is you are going to file down. Let's see if I can do this way. You're going to file down at a 90 or a slight degree angle. You're not going to do this. You're not going up and down. You're not going side to side. You're just doing one direction down. And what you're doing is you're filing the end of the nail wrap. You are not filing your nail. And you don't want to file the whole wrap, just the very end there. So let's see. I can do this so you guys can see it. And there it is. That's the end. And there's your finished nail. You can see that. Focus. There you go. Anyway, so that's how you do it. Do the whole hand like that, and I'll bring you back at the very end. Okay, you guys, I'm all done. You can see all beautiful and trimmed. And if you do this, I actually took a little glass file and just went over the ends. It just kind of smooths them out even more. You should have your jams last at least a week, if not longer. I'm really hard on my hands. I usually change them out every week just because I like them to look really nice all the time. And not that your jams won't, but I am hard on them. I type for a living, so that's you know, they get kind of, I don't know, they get beat up a little bit, but they've lasted lots longer than most nail polishes I've ever tried, and they're such cute neat little designs. It's totally worth the little bit of effort learning how to do it. Once you do it, it's quick, it's easy. You'll be done for up to 2 weeks on your fingers, up to 6 weeks on your toes. All right, guys, I'll bring you back next time for another Get Ready With Me. Not sure which one I'm going to put on, but we'll find out. All right, have a great one. I'm going to leave the link to my website below.